afternoon, I'm Kelly McAllister. We got in with breaking news as new developments in the disappearance of Holly Bobo will be announced any second now. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has called a special news conference at the Decatur County Courthouse in Decaturville. We'll bring you that live as soon as it begins. Now, here's some background on this case. The man at the center of it all, I take that back. Let's go now straight to Decaturville live.
As we discuss some key developments today in the Holly Bobo case. You'll be hearing from two different speakers. The first will be the director of the TBI, Mark Gwynn. Second, you will hear from the District Attorney General for the 24th Judicial District, Mr. Hansel McAdams. After that, we'll open the floor for a few brief questions. Director.
Thank you, Josh. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. We have continued to work diligently to bring those responsible for Holly Bobo's disappearance to justice. I want to thank the Bobo family for their patience and perseverance during this investigation. In recent weeks, we have developed more information in this case. A TBI special agent presented facts to a special Decatur County grand jury this afternoon at 1 p.m. After the presentment, the grand jury returned indictments against 39-year-old Jason Wayne Autrey of Holiday, Tennessee. The grand jury charged him with one count of especially aggravated kidnapping and one count of first-degree felony murder. Autrey is currently being held at the River Bend Maximum Security Institution without bond. Additionally, the grand jury also returned an indictment for coercion of a witness against Zachary Adams. This investigation is still active and ongoing. We are still requesting anyone with information regarding this case to call the TBI hotline at 1-800-TBI-FIND. This is a case that TBI has been continuously working hard to solve now for 3 years. It has not been easy, but I do know that truth will prevail. We will continue to work hard to determine what happened to Holly. Finally, I want the community in this case to know that we will not tolerate coercion of a witness in this case or any TBI investigation. Anyone who had anything to do with Holly's disappearance will be brought to justice. District Attorney General Hansel McAdams will prosecute these additional charges. At this time, I would like to recognize General McAdams, and he will provide more details on the indictments and the process that his office will oversee going forward.
Thank you, Director. Just want to make a few comments about what happened earlier today in the Decatur County General Sessions Court. This morning, our office conducted the preliminary hearing of Zachary Adams for the offense of coercion of witness. Decatur County General Sessions Judge Rick Wood, after hearing two witnesses from the state, did bind his case over to the Decatur County Grand Jury. My office then presented Mr. Adams' charge directly to the grand jury today at 1 o'clock, for which a true bill was returned. His arraignment on the new charge will take place tomorrow, tomorrow at 1 p.m. in the Decatur County Circuit Court. As the director has indicated, the grand jury also indicted Mr. Jason Wayne Autrey for one count of especially aggravated kidnapping and one count of first-degree murder for the kidnapping and murder of Holly Bobo. Mr. Autrey is currently at the Riverside State Penitentiary serving a 3-year sentence for an aggravated assault that arose out of a case here in Decatur County. That case was prosecuted in the Decatur County Circuit Court also. He'll be arraigned tomorrow at 1 o'clock in Decatur County Circuit Court in front of Judge Creed McGinley. He will not have a bond as he's currently serving the state sentence earlier mentioned. He also must complete the remainder of a 100-month sentence that he is serving from the federal court conviction arising out of Decatur County of a United States Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms case prosecuted by Special Assistant U.S. Attorney and State Attorney, Assistant District Attorney Beth Boswell from my office, who is also the lead counsel on this case. We expect the court to consider the appointment of counsel for Mr. Autrey in the morning. Mr. Adams is represented by Jennifer Thompson, as she did file a notice of appearance with the circuit court clerk today. So she will be representing him on this charge indicted, as well as the previous indictment for the especially aggravated kidnapping and the first-degree murder. As I indicated with Mr. Adams, my office will also evaluate this case as a death penalty qualified case. and make a decision once the criteria has been received and evaluated on Mr. Autrey's case. Thank you.
At this point, we will open the floor for a few brief questions. I want to remind you the Holly Bobo case is still active and still ongoing. We are not in a position to discuss specifics in this investigation, and I would ask that your questions be solely directed to today's announcement. With that being said, let's open the floor.
With this second arrest, are you guys any closer to understanding the timeline of Holly Bobo's last days, hours?
Well, obviously, we're putting it all together. We think that there will be more announcements forthcoming. We believe that there are individuals out there that have information, possible involvement, and I think this sends a clear message to them that they should be expecting a knock at their door pretty soon.
What is Jason's connection to Zach Adams?
They were longtime friends.
Do they live in that same housing section where the area you searched? Does Autrey live on that property as well?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Can you comment on the fact that there's a family connection between Jason Autrey and Holly Bobo?
No, I can't.
What about his relationship to Holly? Are they friends? Do they know each other?
Can't comment on that at this time.
On the Autrey thing, you can't comment on?
Yeah, I can tell you that Autrey and Adams were friends, but I can't comment on the fact of whether they were.
What led to the arrest of Jason Autrey? Was that testimony from somebody?
We have sworn statements from witnesses that saw Holly Bobo in the presence of both Zachary Adams and Jason Autrey after her disappearance.
Saw her alive.
Alive.
Was that at the Coon dinner?
I'm not going to comment.
Can you say how long she was alive for after she was
Can't
kidnapped?
comment on that.
Was that at Zach Adams' house, and that's what led to the search there?
Once again, we can't go into the particulars of the case. I can just tell you that we have sworn statements from witnesses that saw Holly in the presence of Adams.
Has anyone indicated where her body might be?
We have not located the body at this time, but we are still working on that, and that is one of our priorities, is to find out exactly where the body of Holly Bobo is.
Can you talk about the timeline between when you got these statements, I guess regarding him, and how long the period has been between this indictment today and when you actually?
Obviously, we've been working on this case for 3 years, practically every day. Haven't stopped. So the timeline is, that's what the timeline is, basically.
Has any physical evidence been uncovered, or right now are you going off of witness statements?
We have physical evidence at crime labs, both TBI and FBI, being analyzed.
How does it feel after 3 years? You guys said you've been working this hard. How does it feel to get this to this point?
Well, our work's not done. Obviously, we're happy to start bringing some closure to this case, but we still have a long ways to go. As I said, we believe there are more people that have information, possible involvement, and you should be expecting more announcements in the coming days and weeks.
In court this morning, it was said that Dylan Adams was the one who saw Holly after she disappeared. Is he the only witness, or do you guys have more than one?
We have several witnesses.
We also heard in court this morning that there may have been some videotape of a shooting of Holly and some kind of alleged rape. Is that true?
I wasn't there.
No. I just leave it at that point.
Do you guys anticipate more arrests?
As I had said earlier, we believe there's other individuals out there that have knowledge, possible involvement. We're working on that right now, and I would expect, as I said, those individuals know who they are, and I'm sure they're watching, and they can expect us to be on their doorstep pretty soon.
Do you have a motive?
We can't go into motive.
How important is it to find Holly Bobo?
Well, it's important for a lot of reasons, but especially for the Bobo family. We believe they deserve to know where their daughter's body is. And we're going to do everything we can to try to give them some closure on it.
Director, thank you so much, and thank you for being here this afternoon. As a reminder, I'll be sending out a press release to follow up. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any specific questions after the fact. We would also like to thank the Decatur County Sheriff for allowing us to hold this news conference here this afternoon. Thank you for being here.